Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm planning on making some journal cards or some tags for my chicken journal. Now, I've pulled out a page to get some color references, and this is the page that I used when I was pulling out papers to go, because it's got some greens and reds, some blues, kind of deal, yellows, for that stuff. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully you saw my video on Sunday where I sourced the origami papers, and I put them all together into one pile, and I'm going to make a masterboard using that. Now this is going to be my back sheet that I'm going to glue it on, and I know this is a great thing because as it flipped over, that you could write on this, and it's got a great color that matches here. So this would be beautiful as a back color into the journal. So I'm going to glue onto this, and I think there's a little texture side and less texture side. I'm gonna glue on the more texture side, I think, so it's writing on the other side. Different color. Now, it kind of looked like a different color when I flipped it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just randomly pick some origami papers out of here. I'm just gonna start with a small pile and work my way out, because I'm just gonna flip through and pull some stuff out as I go. And make it a little darker than I want. Ooh, there we go. Beautiful. Go from there. So I have not attempted to use this to glue on yet, but I can only imagine that it's going to work well. And I don't want to do all marbled pages, but a lot of these colors are just beautiful. And I saw a beautiful green go by, and of course I probably won't be able to see it again. And I know I probably should have pulled these out beforehand, but I don't think that was the green I saw, but we're gonna go with it. All right, so now we're on to the textured, and I know we have the checkered plaid, which could be kind of fun. Just finding ones that kind of match together. All right, flip that over and go from there. A little darker than I'd like. And I don't think I really want pinks in there. There's a lot of pinks in this pile, I've noticed. But I don't think I want pinks, just because these kind of look like eggs. I think I'm going to go with that one. I don't want to go with pinks, because there's really not any pinks in there. And I'm not sure how many sheets we're going to need, because obviously I'm not gonna just glue these straight down. They're gonna get attached. Probably cut them into smaller pieces. I like those orange and greens. I'm kind of blocking my little picture presentation though. And I'm looking at that as I'm doing this to get the colors to kind of match. They're in my peripheral vision. So yes, I'm not sure how many I'm going to use for it. And I might have to go back and get some. I was also thinking about maybe getting some of those. If you saw the video on Sunday, I have got those kind of invoice ones, and there's some colors in there, the greens and like the browns. That would work pretty well. I'm not sure the Asian influence ones are the best for these. Some of these Florentines probably will be fun. That could work. All right, one small pile left. And if I run out of stuff, I can always go back and pull some more out. Flip the papers off the table. There's some greens. That could go well. Yeah, let's start with those and see how far we get. Like I said, I can always go back and grab some more. But I think it should be okay. All right, so what I think I'm going to do And I think these are 6 by 6. I'm thinking if I cut them in half and half and have 3 by 3 squares and go from there, I think that'll work. And they're fairly thin, so I can easily overlap them so they're not just a total square grid. Oh man, come on. Too many to cut. There we go. All right, let's take about half of that pile. I just figured with being thin it would work. But and it's not exactly 3 by 3. No one's gonna know. Who's gonna know? Okay. All right, so let's grab a few and get the rest cut. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have cut them to 3 by 3s and just put them in a random pile here, and I'm just gonna start gluing them. And what's fun about this is it doesn't matter which side I pick. Get rid of that stamp sheet because they are reversible, which I think makes it awesome. Just awesome. And we're going to do our best to try and line it up in the corner and go from there. And since I use the color that is similar to some of these, if they end up peeking through, I think it'll be okay. And I think I'm going to start with the 4 corners, and I'm flipping it over. You see what happens? Like you get, I guess, oh, you know what? There is a difference. See, that had more yellow, that has more red. So I guess I do need to flip it over and see, because being what parts you, like that's more stripes and gooey. Which is an interesting turn. Like I said, when I showed these, you didn't have to worry about whites on the back, but I didn't think about, if you got 2 sides, you really do have 2 choices of what it looks like if you cut it down a little smaller. And see, that's a little dark purple. I think I like the lighter one. Now this thin paper was really gluing down well, I believe, onto here. Oops, if I could glue straight, if I could lay it down straight. My goodness me. My goodness me. There we go. Okay, so I like doing the 4 corners because you can kind of build out to where it is and put stuff where you want it to. And like I said, overlap, underlap, and then I can always go back and cut these in half a little bit more. If I don't like the way they look, or the way they're overlapped, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm sure I fast forwarded this as I was gluing it, because it always takes longer than I think it's going to take to do it. But obviously, I have quite a few papers left here, and a few tinier ones. But I really like the variety on them, but quite a few. There we go. Not too many. What I did, and I might have mentioned as I was going, is if there was like a couple too many spots overlapping that looked odd, then I might go through and put something on top just to kind of seal the deal in. Like I might do that one. Or that. Might do that one. Just to put all the rough edges that are sort of close and cover them up with one piece. That also breaks apart some of the, making them smaller. And this guy really has to go somewhere. I'm gonna put him down there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the green side. Okay, and that was the other thing I did, and I was mentioning, is I was trying to kind of check each side out as I was doing it, making sure I put the side I liked better on there. And as I went, you probably saw I was also, if I had it, you know, where it was a little bit longer and flipping, I was flipping it over and trimming it. And that's where I got some of the smaller pieces. A couple of them I didn't do the best at, but you can always go back and fix that. A lot of times when I make these master boards, I don't go and cut the excess off until the end. But there was some bigger pieces that I didn't want to reuse again. So that's why I kind of did it in the moment. But there's always seems to be a few that overhang when you do them, because it's hard to get it to line up. But that's pretty good. Not too bad. Okay, so you might be saying to yourself, oh my gosh, Lisa, that is so busy. What are you going to do with that? But trust the process. And we're going to cut these down into smaller journal cards, and you will see how much better, how different they look when they get cut down. Okay, I'm going to use this. Hopefully my cutter is still cooperating. I think I mentioned when I did my haul video, I went to the store to look for replacements, and I still haven't gotten a chance to go get some. Okay, so I'm going to do the surprise version, and we are going to cut them down. And this is 12 by 12, so let's start with 4 inches, which is to here. We'll do a 4-inch strip. And I can cut these down to 2 4x6s. That'll work. And now I got 6, so do I do 3s? Let's do 3s. Let's do a 3. And we've got a skinnier kind of a tag. And this is now, what, about 5? My math, 5. So maybe I can do 5 by pockets. Let's do 5 by 4. Okay. I'm going to get my other cutter for this. All right, so we're going to do pockets. 5 by 4. I mean, that's okay. We'll put a little hip thumb hole, and that's a tall pocket, or it can be a journal card, and I'm not showing yet because of that. So we got 8 inches here. All right, 5 by 4s. Tall tags, make them 6. Let's make them 6. 2 tall tags, and this was what, 4? So maybe 4 by 4. Do 3 4 by 4s. Let's do 4 by 4. Now, like I said, I kind of had the intention of putting these maybe in the chicken journal, but I think they're just going to be fun. Fun cards to have around. And I've said it before, I like to make bases and have them master boards and have them just hanging around to be decorated. And that's what this is going to be. Okay, let's go. I'll probably trim that down because there appears to be just a little bit on there. Very fun. Oh, I really like that one. Looks like 4 quadrants, right? A nice little focal point there. That'd be cute. Same with that. I love it. And then that's the 4x4s. And then the bigger either pockets or journal cards for those. So much fun. Kind of like a kaleidoscope. And then the 2 tall journal tags. I don't know, I think I might put that up with the card like that. All right, so say like I wanted to make a chicken card. I had those cards, those sheets, like I said. Tear this a little bit as a little base. And I know you're saying, Lisa, you're covering most of it up, but you know, that's what happens sometimes on these. Not always, but some of it gets covered up, and that is okay. It's just layers, right? You make some layers. And we got the funky journal. Let's do the funky chicken. Let's do the funky chicken. He's cute. I think we'll put him up there. And we'll find something for him to rest on. I've got that tag that's been sitting around. It kind of reminds me of the colors. Oh, I got, whoops, that got ripped. He can sit on that, and then that can go on that. Let's do that. All right, but first, we're going to grunge the edge a little, but I want to round it first because it's going to be a journal card. So we're just gonna take and just give it a little round. Oops, a little piece of the next door's origami just was a hair on there. Probably should have put these under a book, but you know, I'm always in a hurry after gluing stuff. Okay, so you're gonna go down there. I dealt it down, I couldn't. All right, you're gonna go right about there. Oops. And you're gonna go there. All right, Mr. Chicken, Miss Chicken, you're gonna go right there. I think I'm gonna put, oops. I think I'm gonna put a little piece of tape there. This one's a bit long, but I think I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Let's go to there. Just add a little bit more color to it. Kind of ties with those. Oh yeah, cute. And then this guy's going to go, it's like a stamp. It's going to go over there and cover that up a little bit. And maybe put a word or number stamp there. I like it. All right, make sure the glue doesn't rip the chicken feet off. There we go. This chicken is from a freebie put up in my Ko-fi recently. A sheet of chickens. All right, you're a little thicker. I think you might have been part of a cardstock tidbit or something, but I cut smaller. Been sitting over in my little pile for a while, off to the side, and I just keep pushing it to the side, and now it gets used. All All right, I've got this sheet of numbers and letters, and it looks like it should go pretty good. So I'm thinking we're going to go with a Kentucky address. This is going to be a Kentucky chicken. And as I suggest, I didn't realize as I was making him a Kentucky chicken, that Kentucky Fried Chicken. Whoops. He's a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sorry, buddy. Oh, yeah, I like that. That looks good. Okay. So one very random origami journal card that fell, and some neutralish kind of paper, a focal point, a couple labels, and it's a fun journal card to go in my chicken journal. I love it. Okay, well, I think that is going to be it. I'll probably save these to make other journal cards for my chicken journal, or tags, or pockets. But I just wanted to focus on using that fun origami paper I found to make a master board. So yeah, you can use bright, crazy kind of papers and still have a fun journal card. I love that. Just grabbed a random page out of the journal that I'm going to put in there, and wouldn't that look cute on there as a pocket, or end up sticking it into something, some sort of side tuck or something. Very cute. I love it. I mean, the colors really go well with it. So yeah, very happy. Well, that is going to be it for this video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Hype it if you can. I have no idea what that means, but supposedly you can hype a video. I've had people tell me they've done it. I've tried to do it on other people's videos I watch, and I haven't figured it out. So if you know how to do it, let me know. Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel and want to see other fun projects that I make for my chicken journal and other things, please hit that button, subscribe to the channel, and come on back next time. Okay, well, that's going to be it for today's video. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.